program as we move to the fourth segment, something like that, of the KWN Today program. Got our newsmaker segment today, of course, on Thursday, the 7th day of January. We've got Vice Chair of the Dade County Commissioner, Robert Goff, in the studio here with us this morning. Good morning, Commissioner. How are you?
Good morning, Evan. I'm doing fine, and glad to see you are as well. And everybody's doing well.
Absolutely. Thanks for coming in. A couple of things. We want to get an update, first of all, on the county executive and also the First Lady of the county, both recovering from COVID.
They are, and I talked with Diane a little bit last night. Ted, of course, I talked to him on the phone. He's just been very weak and, trying to get through this and not calling anymore and it hadn't been to bother him. It's just to see how you are. They have been a couple of business questions. But anyway, Ted is doing better. I think he's 13 or 14 days into this now from the day he first it was said that he was positive, which was on a Saturday, and then I think he got went back on and was tested on Sunday and was found to be positive, but because they were out of test at the place. So he's pretty much into it, and a lot of his now is just, and it's what I've heard from a lot of people, it's fatigue. I mean, I had a friend of mine from Lookout Mountain, Walker County, the other day. He and his wife both had it, and they were neither as serious or severe as Ted's case of it has been, but he said it just knocked you out. He said it's just like a freight train's hit you, and it's hard to get over. And some of the doctors are saying that part of it can go on for weeks, even after the COVID's gone. As far as Diane did test positive. She told me as of yesterday, hers was just more of like a severe head cold. And some congestion, and that's what a lot of people complain of. The symptoms are so varied and different, and the level of I guess what we'd call seriousness of it is so varied. One person asymptomatic, never knew they had it almost, and then you have others they're severe. But he's getting better. His oxygen is staying in the 90s, she said, and that's a big thing to watch because of the lung problems that you have as your oxygen level being down. But she said it was staying in the 90s. So
well, that's very, very, very good. Very good. Today is the first Thursday of a brand new month and a brand new year, and that means we've got a commission meeting later.
We do have a commission meeting. The workshop, as always, will be at 6 o'clock this evening in the commission room, and then right after that's all over, we don't give a time anymore. But there's a little intermission between that and the regular commission meeting. Of course, we are still limiting the number of people to be there because of this. But it is streamed. You'll have somebody there, I'm sure. Carrie will be there.
It'll be streamed at KWN News Now. We always carry that, and that'll be at 6 o'clock this year.
Yep. And it is a new year. I told somebody the other day, 2020 is a year we all want to forget. We'd just like to take it out, and there's no history of it because of COVID and so many other things, but you can't do that. But it went by in a blur just like every other year has gone. So.
Absolutely. Now, is there, I know the continuation of the construction on the side of Sand Mountain is going on with County Road 6. Is there anything major? I know there's always housekeeping things that go on at the first meeting of the year. It has to be done. Now, you'll be conducting the meeting tonight.
I will be. It kind of, not something I'm that comfortable with, but I think, I shouldn't say that because...
Well, it is Robert's Rules of Order, by the way.
That's right, and I hate them. The real Robert's Rules of Order. But,
So you should be able to follow your own order, your namesake's order.
That's anyway. Right. I can do the objections and all that stuff. No, I think, you're thinking back about it, I'm beginning my 13th year. And this was only the third time, I think, that Ted has been absent from a meeting that I can recall, and all of them had to do with some sort of a sickness. So, but we just hope he gets back. I hope certainly by maybe even next week he can come in for a while at the office, because you always feel better. If you're sick, you feel better when you get to that place. But I can't make that call for him, and I'm not saying he will, but that's my hope, that by the end of the week, maybe for a few hours a day, he can come back in and that'll just make him feel better. Have a couple of things, the County Road 6, I keep getting asked about that. It's a big deal, and I hope that we can go up today and maybe get some pictures of it. Carrie can put them I keep getting asked about it. Ted was asked about it. I'm sure other commissioners are, certainly probably Philip Hartline being there on the mountain. I did talk to Billy the other day, and it will be, and it depends on the weather and what you were talking to about with Patrick just when I came in a few minutes ago. We're looking for some bad weather, but it'd be the rain and things that would keep it from happening, or not keep it from happening, but keeping the construction going. But anyway, it may be March or sometime in March before that's done. And the reason I'd like Carrie to have some pictures is for people, because it's been barricaded off, and there may be some few people who have sneaked down and looked at it, but it's not just a simple fix. Well, you'll see if we can get the pictures. It's not just putting down more asphalt and get it going. As far as, I will say something about the Lookout Lake Dam. I said, that's been talked about for months, and months, but Sandtech, who's the engineering division company that did the engineering on that, as well as the state safe dams people, came out Monday, and Billy and I went out, and it was basically a walkthrough to look at it, to make notes for the engineers and the state to get together on it. They go back there. There was a surveyor out there. They have to have that survey, final survey of the slope of the road. It's all jargon to me what they talk about, but they will go back. The surveyors will get to the engineers their things. They will get the drawings, all that stuff. They will submit everything to the state. The state will submit it to the commissioner, and so they were very well pleased with it, and there was nothing negative from that meeting. So we expect it, but it could be the middle again of March before we get a set of plans or a letter that says that is done and done. So even though it is done and done.
Now, when you mention the state, you're actually talking about the safe dams.
The safe dams, that's what they call themselves. I'm here from the safe dams division or whatever. Yes.
Right. So, because the Safe Dams Act was, I think, sometime in the early 70s was when that was put together to do some safety evaluations of dams in the state of Georgia. Now, this particular dam predates that.
Yes, it goes back to the mid-'60s, I guess.
I guess technically we've been through that, but wasn't even on the radar until the floods of the early 90s when we had that. So it's the Safe Dams Act, which is a government act that created this division that kind of watches over the waterways and the dams to make sure they're, thus the name, safe dams. And
it's interesting that you mention that, because a lot of things are formed, like we're talking here, 20, 30 years ago. Never meant anything to us till when? About 12 years ago. So there's things out there, and you just think everything's rocking along, and all of a sudden there gets to be something thrown into the cogs, and it stops everything, because this has been going on for 12, 13 years anyway, and finally it was done. Not because we wanted to spend the money, but we didn't have a choice. Now, this has been in the news for, like you say, 13 years. Because it was actually a county road that was the actual dam, so that's one of the county. But the Safe Dams Act works with private dams. Oh yes, yes.
So there's there's other activity going on in the county about other dams that they are concerned about, but they're just not on. They're not owned by the county.
Right, they came down.
That's why you don't hear a lot of it.
A couple of years ago to what we call a preserve in Rising Pond, with some of the ponds that they had pond up down there were beginning to be problems. So, it's not just a county or a city dam or anything else. Do have a lot of things to go over. As you said, this is the first of the year, and one thing is, and I know this has been talked about over and over, but the Department of Driver Services for 2021 schedule is online at Dade County-Georgia or -ga.gov if you're looking to renew your license, if they're about to expire or anything that's going on. Now, this is not for new license. There's no driver's test, and we are open. That's on Mondays, and we're the only one in the anywhere in the area. So we get a lot of people that are coming here from other places to do business because of that. And then the departments that are closed in our commission office, I'll tell you, everyone right now is back to work, or they're in and out. It's not just a ghost town when you go in there, but we are still being kind of selective. It is different. We mentioned last week, and people when they go in will see what we're talking about, but it's not the office you've been used to, in that when you go in the front door of the commission office, you're met by a glass wall see-through where you can see everything still going on. But if you're just going in to get something notarized, or you're going in to get a electrical permit or that kind of thing, you just do it without actually going into where Sherry's sitting, and Sherry will be able to do all that through a little opening. The sheriff's office is still, the lobby is still closed for fingerprinting and that kind of thing. It's been suspended until further notice. Sheriff Raycross will let Carrie know that. We'll let everybody know when that happens, because that is a service. It's not something you can't get somewhere else, but it's something that they won't be doing there for a while. And then now this is something new as of, today really, is the lobby to the tax commissioner's office is closed due to COVID exposure. Now, you know, back when we first started this, we put windows in on the outside of the building for them as well as the election. The election has not said they're closed yet, and hopefully our elections are over for a while. And I know the Elections Commission hopes that they're over for a while, but you could do your business from outside. The problem is, along with that, what Carrie would be next Wednesday. Next Wednesday, on the 13th, January the 13th until the 18th, the state will be doing something with all of their computers. You will not be able to get a tag, nor will you be able to get a title to a vehicle during that time. So you do have a 30-day, but if your tag has expired and you just haven't made it down, that will take place next week. Now that business right now you can still do through the window, even though we're saying that the office is closed, the lobby's closed to it, but you can do that. So if your tag is about to expire and you want to go do it, be sure you go do it. That's done on birthdays. It wouldn't affect everyone that much, but it will also affect if somebody buys a car and getting the title to it. So, but that will take place next week, January the 13th through the 18th. And it is not anything in the county. It's no one's fault here. It's just that the computers will all be being changed, the way you do business. And they have that long to do it. Hopefully they can do it in that 5 days. I don't know. But then, we already mentioned the new lobby. The elections, I said, are over. If you have any reason to call, you can call the Secretary of State or the national number, which is 470-410-8793. If you thought or had any idea that any kind of fraud or any kind of illegality was going on in our county, I don't think it was. I think this thing that we just finished seemed to go much smoother. But there's a lot of disappointed people and there's a lot of happy people, pretty much 50-50 on that election. But both Democrat candidates, Mr. Ossoff and Warnock, both won.
At least in the overall votes in the state of Georgia, about 50-50. And I know that we were carrying a story earlier this morning that Dade, Walker, Catoosa, and Chattooga County, it was 78 to 82% in favor of Purdue and Leffler, excuse me. But yeah, you're right. It was almost a 50-50 with the two Democrat senators getting the 50+1 they needed to take those seats.
And you know, that again is interesting, because when we look on election night, when they're doing all those returns and we see 78 to 22, whatever, you think, boy, somebody's running away with it. But you got to remember, you have 5 areas or 5 counties around Atlanta: Fulton, DeKalb, Gwinnett, Cobb. Most of those are Democrat, and most of them have more votes than maybe any 15 other counties in the state. So if they lean one way and really vote heavily in those areas, that's when things get to change. It's not, well, there's got to be something bad going on. There can be, but it's not necessary. It's just that now they're seeing where, we have 7 precincts. They're seeing counties with 30 and 40 precincts and 15 times the amount of people we have in Dade County.
Good news coming out yesterday, finally, from the Georgia Department of Health, which we do have a local office here. It's the Dade County Department of Health, but it's actually the state health department. They just have the individual county names attached to them there at the bottom level of the administrative building. And starting Monday, then 65 and older individuals will be able to, by appointment, get the vaccine for the COVID-19.
Yes, we will. We were put in with the governor's thing. And the thing about it is, now, if you're watching the horror stories, folks, on in Hamilton County, the Chattanooga area, where people are sitting for 8 and 9 hours to get a vaccine, then being told we're out of vaccine, I don't know the way around that. It's got to be a logistical nightmare how to roll that thing out and see if everybody gets it. But that being said, you need to know the people who are in the first wave of it. As you said, Evan, the 65 and older have been added to that. We were not in the first. It was the first responders and people on our ambulances, people in our fire departments, sheriff's offices, police offices, and all that.
And a lot of them have already been distributed. We've got folks here in the county, the emergency services, fire department, and different things have already had the first round. Remember, this particular round of vaccine will require 2 different shots. So a lot of folks in the emergency services realm have already got their initial shot.
And I think it's 20 days or whatever before you get, it's made, I know it seemed to have made a lot of medical professionals out of common people. I don't understand all of it. You hear names, you hear Pfizer, you hear Moderna, and all these things, and then we've got, this is a global thing, so the other countries are having the same problem.
Well, one of these things, and I think you can speak to this. I have seen a lot of things in my lifetime, and some things are done pretty quick. I have never seen anything in government, never had anything in government been done with Operation Warp Speed as quick as from back in February.
About 9 months. 9, 10 months.
The 7th day of January, already vaccinating folks on a disease that they had no idea about a year ago, for the most part.
Yeah, and
that's unreal for the government to be able to do. Or Operation Warp Speed has been more than a success.
I don't want to be gloom and doom on that, but that is a lot of people's problem. You hear people, are you going to take it? No, I'm not going to take it because it developed too soon and we don't know the effects of it. So even that, but I'm glad that they did. I hope that it works. I hope that everything, certainly that everything settled down. But I think it was like 9 months, and usually that can take up to 8 and 10 years to get something on the market like that. So,
but it just goes to show if you need to get something done, the government can do that away and get it done.
Well, Ford Motor Company shut down for months to make ventilators and things like that because we were in such need of ventilators in the country. So thank God for a nation that says, right now that's more important than this, even though I was reading something last night that their sales for F-150s was really, really, really off because of that, because they were not. And I was looking for one at one time, and they were saying then that, well, we just don't have a lot to choose from, but we will in 2 or 3 more months. So, but getting back to some of this, the drive-through testing is still going on right now on Wednesdays from 9 till 9 till noon, and then 12:30 till 4:30 p.m. at the health department. And you need to call them for most anything that you're going to do, but you can call them at 706-657-4213 because they are having, there's a lot of lines down there every Wednesday getting that done. And then when this vaccine rolls in, that's going to be one place. It will eventually get to the drugstore, CVS, Walgreens, all those. So there'll be more places to go. But right now, and the rapid testing is still available, but it's not for everyone. You've got to be exhibiting symptoms, and there's 7 or 8 symptoms. I don't know if any 2 of those. That can be if you've lost it, and one of the biggies that most people don't, it's not common to people, excuse me, if you've lost your sense of taste or smell. I don't understand why, but that's one of, I think I said on the report last Thursday that I told Diane to feed Ted Brussels sprouts if he don't like them, because she said he can't taste anything and it's affecting her taste. So that would be one of them. Then maybe a low-grade fever, or it can be congestive and just flu-like symptoms. But they will not test you for a rapid test if you go in and say, I don't really have any symptoms, I just want to be tested.
Right, you got to have, we got to wrap things up here. We got about a minute or so, but that rapid test is available at the Dade County Health Department by appointment, so you need to call them. Yes. They will come out to the parking lot. You do not go in. Right. They come out and administer that rapid test in the parking lot while you wait, but you got to have an appointment. Anything else real quick? No, 6 o'clock for the work session, followed by the meeting, and it will be streamed live at KWN News Now. That's our Facebook site, KWN News Now. You can watch it and share it and be a part of the government meeting tonight.
Yeah, and a lot of it, you said, is housekeeping items, and we should have someone there from the firm that does our audit every year, Hutchison McCullough Henderson, that will be there to talk about some of that stuff. It's just a regular, for the most part, it's just a regular agenda with things that are going on.
Well, Commissioner, we thank you very much for being here and sharing the update with us.
Okay, appreciate you having us, and hope everybody stays warm and stays safe.
Absolutely. All right.